Hello number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking and I'm an alchemist. Oh, I'm an alchemist. You know how medieval alchemists tried to change lead into gold? Well, I change hatred into American dollars. Give me the dollars.
I am the ultimate alchemist.
And you're here for the show. So 3 weeks ago I made this video, University Study Proves Me Right, and it was about the ancient Egyptians, and of course a certain community decided to leave a lot of comments. How many comments, you ask? Well, we are at 4,557, which, considering the fact that if you compare it with this other video of mine, which had more views but only had 770 comments, thank you for the engagement. Now let's review them, since I'm sure they're gonna be all civil and debate my ideas without ad hominem attacks. Right? Bring me the facts, bring me the facts. Alright, let's go. Caucasians gonna cockate, space, ... So what do you expect, question mark. I'm sorry, what? At Freedom says, and this one is edited so he has had time to think about this. All mainstream history is backwards, or upside down, to favor and deceive the white man as superior. Full stop. It's time to wake up, people. Why is it hyphenated? Why did you need an hyphen there? Oh goodness gracious, look at all this mainstream media trying to push white supremacy. What can I say, guys? I don't know. It's, he might have a point. He might have a point. I think I'm beginning to see a pattern here. Did you notice that these people are the ones who make it black versus white? They are the ones who make it about who is superior and who is inferior. All I did was review a study. I was respectful in the way I presented information. I was only interested in the data, the documented facts. And yet I am the racist. In their mind. I see a problem in your logic. Alright, next idiot. Oh yeah, I know this guy. Ooh, I'm not gonna waste my time reading this. What this guy does, it's actually ridiculous. He writes a few prompts on ChatGPT, has the entire thing refute my positions, and posts it as his own, as if I had time to read his ChatGPT nonsense. No thank you. How many M dashes are there on this? How many M dashes? Man, what is the AI loving the M dash? Not that there is anything wrong with the M dash, but the overutilization of it by AI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 M dashes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not reading your shit. Next. Spot on. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. J.S. Smith says, "You're not right!" Exclamation. "You're so biased, dude. You're so against giving black people credit for anything. ... Shaking my head." Well, how about next time, before you start shaking your head, you double check your information. This is a video of mine where I responded to the likes of Jada Pinkett Smith, who was pushing nonsense, and instead presented real black African history to the public with 1 million views. Half of this video is me actually sharing real black history. Oh wait, here's another video of mine, the African warrior queen who fought against the Roman Empire. Well, will you look at that? Hey, those are 2 more videos of mine that I dedicated to real African history, weapons and monumental structures. Sounds like this guy is full of shit. I have more, I could continue, but I'm gonna own him with this. The only person here who is against giving black people credit is you. You wrote it with a lowercase b. I always capitalize black and white. Have a good one. Okay, next. Let's see how Kings attacks my argument, but not the person. Kings, Metatron got low self-esteem. I have never in my life seen a bunch if people that tell lies for centuries like they're gonna magically turn into truth. Black are all ancient people groups. We were first, and with pale people, birth rate declining globally, ... Blacks will be the last people on the planet. Deal with it. Absolutely. You said, you know what this is? You know what this guy, Kings, at Kings4174, you're an afro-racist. It's a subcategory of the Afrocentrist in the sense that there are some Afrocentrists that are civil, right? I disagree with a lot of their points, not necessarily all of them, but I disagree with a lot of their points, but they're civil. We can have an actual conversation. Usually it's YouTubers with a following that are that, because cowards like this one who can hide behind a keyboard, yeah, they throw away all resemblance, full mask off, anti-white and anti-European sentiment for the world to see. So as I was saying, some Afrocentrists, yeah, then we can have a conversation. I don't have a problem with them as long as they're being civil. But then they have the Afro-racists, like this guy. Everything in this comment oozes racial hatred. I think the only one with low self-esteem is you, since you don't even capitalize the I, as you should, according to the rules of English grammar. TJ says, LOL, this guy really dislikes black people. No, I don't, but you dislike white people, so here we are. Caesar himself agrees with me, by the way. Ad victoria Metatron Roma invicta est. Absolutely, my friend. GG, let's go. LOL. I'm Egypt, bro. You smoking crack, bro? It's all over the place. There were dark-skinned people. Let it go. Yeah, sure, I'll listen to you instead of the Egyptologist in my team who helps me produce these researched videos, sure. Alright, so the next one is a little special because he's a YouTuber. He has got a channel. Know Thyself with 34,000 subscribers. And he has been putting a lot of comments under this video. How about we check it out? Is he going to be intellectually honest? Let's see. So, it would seem you have abandoned all intellectual integrity and credibility in your pursuit for more views, says the guy who uses AI. That does not look like me, man. At least last time you used a picture of me. Now you're using AI to fabricate your thumbnails for views. Once again, double standards. Could you imagine if not that I ever would, because I'm a decent person, but could you imagine if I put a black person in bondage like this, with ropes and the stuff they get away with? Unbelievable. Still, guys, no need to go harass him. Let's be decent, because that already puts us above this kind of behavior. Also, why do you speak about intellectual integrity? You are making it white versus black, and this is... Look, the Cleopatra controversy. Why are white people and Egyptian elites so unhinged? Therefore, whatever you think about integrity or morality means nothing. Take his videos whenever he talks about white people and swap it with the word black, and think if I could say it. If you can't say it with the word black, you shouldn't be able to say it with the word white either without getting backlash. Since you all, your team, in quotes, what a clown, cannot get seemingly anything right regarding ancient Egypt, perhaps just leave the subject alone altogether and leave it up to those of us that actually do the work. Stick to your movie reviews and such. Let me say this, since you are flexing, you are the guys that do the real research, so you're flexing, right? Team in quotes, because this is what they do, and I'll tell you more about why this is actually a compliment. He's giving me a compliment with this. Begrudgingly, of course, but thank you for the compliment. Here's the thing, man. I never, ever, know Thyself, flex academic credentials. But because you are now doing the gatekeeping, you are saying, well, we are the expert, we do the real research, you guys don't know anything, so stop speaking and let us speak. Since you're gonna do that, then I am gonna flex our credentials, since you're trying to attack my credibility. This is called poisoning the well, by the way, and character assassination attempt, of course. In the team that you put in quotes, I have an Egyptologist PhD, I have an anthropologist with a postdoctoral degree, I have a classicist with a master's degree. What do you have? Again, I never do this, but when people are gonna do what he's trying to do, then I will. Because if it's a regular person, but they're being decent, and they're being honest, if they tell me, hey, look, I've studied this subject because I really like it, I don't have a degree, but I have opinions, I'll be like, yeah, sure, so let's sit down, let's have a coffee, I'll be more than happy to listen to you. I would never try to use high academic degrees to try and shame people into silence like he's trying to do without the degrees. That is because there are people that are really intelligent, but maybe they couldn't afford a degree. I'm not going to use the lack of wealth against them, because maybe they did put a lot of research. What do I know? But because he is trying to do that, then I'm going to ask you, know thyself. What degrees do you have? Also, while you're at it, why don't you show your face? And stop using the AI voice you're probably using if you are like Mr. Imhotep. And I know for a fact he's using an AI voice because I found it. I found it. My team members, exception be the anthropologists, show their face, name, on screen, full qualifications. If you've got nothing to hide, show your face and show us your qualifications, since you are the gatekeepers of truth and we shouldn't speak unless we agree with you. This is cult mentality. I do not belong to your cult, therefore I'm not limited by your dogma. And now that we have declared formal war, I will start debunking your videos. It's just that you're low in my priority list. The team thing is fascinating to me. It's clearly a coping mechanism. It's a denial. How is it possible that he has a team and they disagree with my cult? But the problem is that the team is there. But for a moment, let's entertain this silly accusation that they do. Let's pretend for a second that the team doesn't exist. The people, they're just paid actors that appeared on screen, and there is no team behind my production like they accuse me of. Oh, the team of astronauts, he doesn't have a team. Okay, let's say for a second that that's true. You know what that would mean? That would mean that every single researched video on my channel is my production and my research alone. It would also mean that while doing all of that research, scripting, editing and filming, I'm still capable of posting 30 times a month on the main channel, 30 times a month on the second channel, and up to 2 weeks ago 30 times a month on my gaming channel, while doing live streaming for gaming on Twitch and going live on the Metatron's channel between 15 to 20 times a month. All on my own.
Thank you for the compliment. Know thyself. I'll take it.
Let's continue. You are wrong and a You can't even spell it. Yeah, I lie a lot, you're right, in the sense that I love lying in bed at night after having made so much money off of your hate. I love it because I can turn on the TV, the PS5 you paid for, and and I lie in bed. Oh gosh, L-I-E-R. Yeah, I'm sure your level of education is so high. I love it. I love it. Love it. Here's another one. The Valentino 5000. We, as the Afrocentric community, have responded. The name of the channel is Know Thyself. I'm not going to make fun of this one because there is no hatred. And as I say, I don't have a problem with the Afrocentric community as a whole. I have a problem with the Afro-racists. He doesn't seem to be a part of the Afro-racist sub-community. Therefore, I have no problems with him. Now, given we have just demonstrated that Know Thyself is not a trustworthy source of information, but here we are. Cosmic Realm, bruh, y'all, I thought you needed to put an apostrophe there, swear you ain't, without an apostrophe, out to steal African history, but you are. This debate is disproven easily, but I'll desist here, as they're not fit trolls and any real ammo. Yeah, how convenient. You could disprove everything easy. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like one of those people who take 3 lessons of Aikido or Judo or whatever the heck, and then they say, oh yeah, I could totally take on and destroy any MMA brute. I could do it easily. I just don't do it because I don't feel like it. I just don't want to kill them. That's the reason why I don't do it. Yeah, okay. Well, until you do it, first and foremost, you would have to prove this accusation that I'm trying to steal African history. You are the ones that are trying to say everyone was black. And this is a fact. I'm just saying that white people were white. I'm not even saying that the Egyptians were white. This is how stupid these people that are getting triggered are. If you watch my video, I specifically state that I do not believe the ancient Egyptians were white. I don't say that. However, I also don't believe that they were all black, and that's what triggers them because it's outside their dogma of their cult. I still think ancient Egyptians were Nubians. That's fine, but the ancient Egyptians would disagree with you. Nah, everyone got it wrong. The ancient Egyptians were actually Mexicans. Ooh, what have we got here? Well, what we've got here is a lot of exclamation points, my friend. What a day. Ben Israel 3030. This is so sad that you continue to spread lies, and another thing is sad that you want to take someone else's identity that is true. Right. Let me translate this. Lies means I disagree with him and he cannot stand it. Also because he isn't capable to reject anything I say on this video. It's a 19-minute video. There's quite a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I'm reading actual research material from the University of Florence, among other things. But they're all lies, right? Because that's what they do. Oh gosh, he's saying something, but it's not what I believe, so there must be a lie. You see, this is the type of people that the likes of Know Thyself profits of. Because he will pander to these people, selling them lies, so that he can make money. And they will believe him because they're being pandered. So Know Thyself, who's doing it for the views now? Next. Oh my gosh, someone on the chopped off noses. That nonsense. Yeah, I will address this. I'm gonna make a dedicated video though. We don't trust your European studies. You see, it's always anti-European sentiment. It's always about, I don't trust you because of the color of your skin. These people are the real racists. I'm a real anti-racist. These people are racists. Go into the Afrocentric community, open the channels, and find one. Then whenever they say something like, oh, Europeans don't want you to know this, white people stealing this and that, is there a disclaimer? Have you ever found a disclaimer into one of their videos where they say, guys, this is not about racism, this is not about ethnicity, I don't hate white people, I think we're all brothers and sisters, please don't go and harass channels that disagree with me, I do not condone. Is there any disclaimer like that? Never, because they feed off of that. Me, however, I've just told you what I say on every upload that has to do with anything that involves Africa. I do that. Since the very first video that went viral, 1 million plus views, and they hate me for it. Since that very video, I was saying, guys, this is not black versus white. In fact, I want to unite with my white and black brothers just to look for the truth based on the documented evidence. That's how I started it. They never do these kind of disclaimers because they want this. They love this. Because it's how they get the views. Look, history has proven that Europeans cannot be trusted. Imagine if someone said this but swapped Europeans with African. It would be all over the news. That's a double standard. I think this sort of anti-European and anti-white sentiment should be called out. And I'd say that most decent people would agree with me. So unless you're an idiot like Alec Gunter, you will agree with this. Because it's just a matter of decency. Let's not make it about skin. Let's make it about the facts. Han Solo Bolo, a skin color is extremely important, especially when it is used to diminish a culture's greatness. Oh, okay, like you guys do with Europeans. For instance, Jesus was melanated, but everyone you look, there is a concerted effort to make him Europeanized. It's laughable the length other cultures will go to light in history when it doesn't favor them. Oh my gosh, the projection. The lack of self-awareness is unbelievable, you culture vulture. The deeper you dig, the browner and more melanated history becomes. Nice try though. So here's the thing. When you say melanated, if by this you actually meant that Jesus would have been tanned, considering the fact that he was a woodworker, probably spent a lot of time in the outdoor. So if that's what you were saying, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I know exactly what you mean. You mean that Jesus was black in the sense that he was black African, and you're wrong. The only reason why you say that is based on a false and wrong interpretation from the book of Revelations. That, of course, people like this, they just look at the part where he says that Jesus has feet of bronze. They only read English, because it's not like this guy who can't even spell English can read ancient Greek. And then they use that to try and make it about race. Now, I will recognize that yes, even all the way back in ancient Rome, they changed the way Jesus looked in order to make him more presentable to the people, in that case, European people. And there is no way within me that would think that Jesus was a Nordic. With that being said, Jesus was not black. And if you really want to look into this, and you want to open the ancient Greek texts, like we do here, then I find it very convenient how they look at the passage that talks about feet of bronze, by the way, just the feet, and yet right next to that passage there is one that says that his face was white. Now, am I gonna use that to mean, oh, see, his face was white, meaning he was from Scandinavia? No, because clearly it's describing a resurrected being that shines light. That's called intellectual honesty, something you have never seen in your life. The Hood Voice 2024, a bunch ha 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 ha, y'all still can't accept the truth. Sir, I'm just gonna put it this way. There is only one truth. There is no my truth. There is no your truth. There is no our truth. All of that is nonsense. There is one truth, and it's based on the evidence. Facts over feelings. Next. This horrid bull is laughable. Now, I wonder if he means bully, or did he actually mean bull? I mean, maybe it's something they use where Sergeant Gilmore 7497 is from. I haven't got a clue. I never heard anyone say that, but hey, I'll take it. Did a black guy take your girlfriend when you were younger? I think this guy's projecting, so I guess he hates white people because a white guy took his girlfriend. I imagine this is my 2 cents psychology session right here. You know what you just demonstrated, Trevor? That you are feelings over facts. You're feelings over facts. I'm facts over feelings. Who do you think is going to get the truth? He is working hard to prove that the ancient Egyptians were not black or major complexes dark. What? He throwing all centuries, you need is here as auxiliary verb, in a mix just to satisfy his personal unconfidant. The Roma came way after the early pharaoh, and they were clearly black. For example, who? The Romans were black, or the early pharaoh? Man, this is funny to watch. I just have my popcorn ready. Let's go. Thank you for the view. Appreciate that. That makes money, by the way, as long as you know. Just as long as you know that while you're eating, for everything of popcorn you eat, I'm probably making about like $20. Then you eat again, it's another $15. The coping is hilarious. Egyptians tell you their ancestors came from Sudan, people from the south, ancient Nubia, you idiots. Yeah. Had he not gone to this, I would have addressed this thing that they say. But I'm not going to, because you're incapable of being civil. So you're going to be skipped. Marker says, okay, that's still black. I'm that skin color, and it only takes a few days or weeks of hard labor in the sun for your skin to get darker significantly. Okay, so he's talking about this, as you can see, this skin tone here. But here's the thing. Yeah, there are plenty of people that have this skin tone. They are not all black Africans. There are some Middle Eastern people that look like that. In fact, some Indians are as dark as some Africans. I don't think that they could be claimed as black Africans, however. Also, you're making my point. Yes, even Europeans, usually someone like a Southern European like me, I'm not a Nordic. And even the Nordic, it depends. Like people that belong to the what is called skin tone 1, depending on what scale you use, then yeah, they don't tan. They just get red and burn in the sun. But already when you go to the next skin tone, even though it still looks white like me, I do tan if I work under the sun. But it only takes me one afternoon to darken my skin if I really needed to, because I was working the field. says, based on the comments, this video has not contributed to knowledge about the subject, but only provided a platform for people to write in the comments about what they already believed. It's as if they haven't even seen the video. He's absolutely right. Yes, they haven't. They just saw the reaction or the response from someone in the Afrocentric community. They created strawman, because that's all they do when it comes to me. They say, oh, Metatron, particularly Mr. Imhotep, it was like Metatron looks down on black people. So, of course, someone hears that, even though he's the one who looks down on white people, and I can prove it in front of a court of law if necessary. I've got all of the documentation on that guy, all the screenshots, but he leaves them up anyways. It's not like he's ashamed of being anti-European. Their audiences trust them. They believe, or they must have done the due diligence. There's no way they would lie about something so serious, right? And then they come here, they click on the video, some watch it, like the guy with popcorn, allegedly, but the well has already been poisoned, so it's not like he's going to be receptive anyways. But a lot of the people just leave the comments. They just come here to tell me white man, bad, stealing, this and that. That's what they do, because they've been told that I'm a racist. Blocked their mind and created a negative mindset. This is why I find it so interesting that someone like Know Thyself, trying to be the guy who is all righteous about finding the truth, and yet he's using mental manipulation tactics to make sure that his audience will not listen to the opposite sides and their positions. If you really are so sure of having the truth and being able to prove it, then let your audience decide. Don't create this poison in the well, because that's a massive red flag, unless you have something to hide, unless you're afraid, Know Thyself, that if people come here without you guys putting in their head that I'm some kind of racist, you're afraid that they will listen. And if they listen and look at the evidence that we provide as a team, then they might stop watching your videos, which means less money for you. What are you going to say to that, Know Thyself? To prove my point, there is no way mutant Africans believe that they were in Northern Africa before Africans. When he says this, he talks about white people. That's another thing. That's one of the ways that the Afro-racists call us. They call us mutants. Again, hey, I'll take it. You know, when it comes to, if we look at Marvel, every time that there is a mutant, it turns into a superhero. So I guess I'll take the compliment. Also, strawman. For as much as so-called progressive decry cultural appropriation, cultural imperialism, they sure as hell like to partake in it, says this guy. What are you on about? I'm not a progressive, I'm a moderate. What are you on about? The Sun says negative. Oh yeah, this idea that only black people can live under the sun. Given you are absolutely better equipped to deal with very intense sun waves, but I think we have invented clothing in the Paleolithic. At this point, you're trolling. It's another coping mechanism. It's either a lie or you're trolling. It's one of the two, right? Or you're paid off because how dare I disagree, right? Cultist. Still in Africa. Finally something we can agree on. Yes, Egypt is in Africa. Thank you. Looks like still talking about the skin tone on the guy on the right. By the way, the video wasn't even about skin tone. I spoke a little bit about skin tone, but the majority of the video was about artistic preservation of original pigments. I would like to underline. But of course they make it all about skin tone. Looks like another variation of black to me. Right, will you say that about Indians too? Nice try, Rasputin. Ooh, you got me. You got me. Actually, no. Rasputin's hair is very short compared to mine. So, sorry. I got longer hair than Rasputin. Deep voice. Thanks. M. Lungi. Egypt was a black nation, my guy. Wise guy, capital. Are you honoring me? My ancestors came from Egypt and I was told by our grandparents before we came from South Africa. I'm not then... Okay, no. Ancient Egypt was not a black nation. That's wrong and false. With that being said, the second part, my guy, of your comment could very well be true. Because, as I always say, particularly in Upper Egypt rather than Delta, there were quite a bit of black individuals who would have been Egyptians. Because, I mean, there is the border with Kush. So if you tell me that your ancestors, your grandparents told you that, they could be right. Maybe they were black Egyptians. All I'm saying is that not all Egyptians were black. That's all I'm saying. But the likes of Mr. Imhotep do remember that the percentage he stated was 99%, and after he clashed with me, he upgraded to 100%. 100% Egyptians were black is his statement. Clowns. Clowns. Oh, what a clown. Here is another one. What non-black people don't seem to grasp, as another one who makes it about race, is black people have a range of complexion from black, dark brown, dark gray. Yeah, I said that. If you had watched my videos, I'm the one who said that Africa has the highest amount of phenotypic variance in the world. I said that, but you guys don't even do the research before were you white people? I'm black, and my DNA precursors literally go back to an Egyptian pharaoh. Yes, some Egyptian pharaoh were black. You have the black Egyptian pharaoh dynasty, the Kushite, but whatever. I'll never understand why Metatron feels the need to be the poster boy of whitewashing history. You are blackwashing history. I just say, let's keep history how it was. So if they were white, make them white. If they were black, keep them black. That's me. You are the poster boy for blackwashing everything. European influence on the region was an era, not the totality of Egyptian history. I agree. That's what I say. Particularly Ptolemaic period, yeah. Do you even know that that's my point? No, you don't, because you believe the lies of the likes of Know Thyself, Mr. Imhotep, and all the others that spread lies about, anyone from the Afrocentric community who decides to make a response video to this. Here's my challenge. Are you able to steelman my arguments before you attack it? Are you capable of doing it? Or is it going to be another strawman fest? I think you're not capable. Let's see if you prove me wrong. Prove me wrong and I'll admit it. There is stolen valor and there is stolen history. Good work, Metatron. Thank you very much, my friend. Absolutely. Wow, this topic again says Benote 1998. Fantastic year. I'll give him that. Move on. You are speaking in an echo chamber. You won't convince them. Well, I know. I'm not making it. I understand you're not an Afrocentrist then. I'm not making it for the Afrocentrists. The video is for my community. But yeah, I am making it for my followers, absolutely. Although I don't particularly like the word follower because with the long hair makes it feel mystical. But no thank you. I'll continue. Why am I seeing this shit? I don't know at the end, but you did click. So it worked. Not all so-called black people are black. We different shades of brown. LOL. White people are not white. The full caps doesn't make you right. Yeah? Can we at least consider that? Thank you for that. Thank you for the clarification. Now that I know that I'm not white. Arabs been spending too much time with white supremacists. Wanting to be white is not the same as being white. I don't even know. What is this guy? Is he... This dude is hell-bent on proving that Egyptians weren't black. It's almost like a passion project. Yes, it is. I have a passion for the truth. So there is that. What can I tell you? Egyptians and Nubians were the same people. The ancient Egyptians disagree as evidenced from the wall art. Look at this. There again. See our page for a few true heavyweights on this subject. They will ace it for you. There is no debate. Look. That's again dogma. There is no debate. We have the truth. No proof. Nothing. It's just that they say so, and so you cannot debate. He says, but you free to keep trying. Oh, yes, I will. Absolutely. Because you see, I care about the truth differently from you, who care about the anti-European message. As you could see, the OG liars and identify thieves. It's identity. The noun. To identify is the verb, sir. Identity is the noun. Weak argument. Dude's entire online existence is disputing Afrocentric people. I have about 20 videos, maybe 25 videos on disproving Afrocentric nonsense, but in total I have 1,600 videos if you consider all 3 channels. So I think that debunks your lie. But hey, I know you were never about the truth anyways. Metatron needs to debate one of these Afrocentrists to fully end this debate once and for all. As long as they drop the, oh, you're racist, and then the, oh, white people bad. As long as they drop that, I would be more than happy. But until they keep that one up, they will never be invited on this platform, ever. You know, I could continue for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages like this. Hundreds. This, unfortunately, is an excellent representation of the type of racists that gravitate towards communities that title their videos in a way to be magnets for this. They've been lying to you. Who's they? Who's they? Who do you think they are? And oftentimes they're not even that subtle. They literally say it. The white man, the European man, is that they say we steal. Our European man, white people stole the land. You steal the land. Everyone does it. There is not one people on earth that hasn't stolen land. Humans do it. And this idea, oh, but it's white people. They are the ones who do it. Okay, what about the Mongols? I mean, they're not white. How about the amount of land that they conquered? Do you have a problem with that? And regardless, you can go back to Africa. You know of the inner tribal warfare and how they were killing each other for land and slaves. So, no, it's not just white people that steal land. That's false. And it's obvious, like this is elementary school obvious. See, here's the problem. Here's the paradox for you. I'm waiting for the response, but here's the paradox for you. I'm going to say something really hot. There are plenty of channels, I found a few, that constantly push this idea of black superiority and white inferiority. This is something they're pushing. Of course, the opposite would never fly. I think neither should fly because then again, I'm the anti-racist. So, here is the problem with that. When we talk about stealing land and whatnot, if we really are going to be objective about it, everybody did it. But the difference is that, apart from the Mongols and all that, Europeans stole land just like everybody else. We were just more effective at it. We were just better at it. That's the only difference. The reason why I'm saying this is not because I am being, oh, look, I'm so proud. No. It's a paradox. I'm saying it on purpose. I'm saying this specifically because I want to hear what the Afro-racists are going to say about this. What's your response to this statement? If it's false, it's not true, because you need to push the idea of black superiority. So it's not true that the European man was more effective at conquering land and had a more powerful economy to back those military efforts. If it's not true, then why do you complain? Then who is the best? If the best ones are militarizing and conquering were black people, then you should have a problem with black people. Or if it was Asians, then you should have a problem with Asians. Not with a white man. Then you can't use the attack anymore. But if you do recognize this and you say, no, yes, I have a problem with white people, precisely because they were more effective and so they took more land and so I have a problem with them. Great, but now you can't push black superiority anymore. So which one is it? Checkmate. Thank you for watching.